you guys want to pretend like we're having some chat? Oh, that was too much. Oh. Anyway, that was a funny story there, Banks. Welcome to another episode of... All right, you can stop laughing now, please. Welcome to an episode of Rap Reviews where we annotate rap lyrics for, the understanding and all that shit. I got two friends with me. Who am I going to say first? Who do I say first? Kieran?
I feel bad being chosen before Ben.
Oh, it's not that important.
It's not that important.
I think it happens every time, dude. I think I'm always the last one. So.
All right. Well, next time I'll try to say you first.
No, I want to stay in my spot. I like it.
Okay.
It's less pressure.
There you go. Cool. Okay. And then we also got Ben, who just interrupted me, by the way.
Yeah.
And we're doing a bit of an old school episode, bit of season 1 here. We've gone in. Me and Kieran have no idea. Ben's chosen the track. We know who the artist is. But, we have no idea. So this is kind of a bit of an old one. Tell us, listeners at home, if you like this kind of old school style. Should we do more of it again,
Yeah, a bit of a throwback. And if you haven't listened to our older episodes, I don't know if I'd recommend them or not. Yeah, go on. Give them a listen.
Treat yourself. Yeah, this is the first time I've had this dynamic in this setup where two people have come in completely cold and unaware of the song. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And
yeah, I can't remember why entirely we changed, but there was reasons, I think.
I'm interested to see your choice here because this is a very prolific artist. Yeah. Lots of material.
Very broad spectrum of things to choose from here.
Possibly on the spectrum as well.
I'd say a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the song I have selected by Kanye West.
Can we get a little drum roll?
That's not a drum. I don't know what that is.
That was like a foghorn.
Yeah, that's the sirens they use in Drake songs from 2010.
Whatever, just say the fucking
Anyway,
song.
the song I've picked is the one, the only, Kanye's potential 3 best verses. Gorgeous.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, I had to yell that. From My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I was listening to that album on the train here. It's a classic.
So you're well versed in...
I wouldn't say well versed, but whenever I have to pick a Kanye album to listen to, it has to be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
It's a great album.
A perfect 10 on Pitchfork.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, Pitchfork, good on you. Yeah, good album. Great song. This is the second track on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And this verse, or these 3 verses that Kanye has on this song, he actually does use quite often as freestyle verses when he goes on radio shows. And you go to YouTube, you type in your rapper freestyles. Kanye doesn't have that many, but this, he does rap several times as his freestyle. So that at least shows that it's to him, he's aware that it's he feels it's quite a poignant verse to be putting out there, and it's quite technically good if he's doing it on morning shows.
But did he write it? No.
I don't know.
Does it also show his lack of variety?
Lack of what?
Variety, that he's just got this one line or this one verse that just continually raps over and over again. I get it, Kanye. You want to make the point known that it's a great verse, but you've got a platform, man. You need to be putting out more messages than just repeating the old one.
Oh, come on. He's trying to put out a fucking bunch of messages. You can't take that away. But also, he's not really a writer per se. He
does write his raps.
No, he doesn't. He's always had ghostwriters.
No, not always.
Most of it, yeah.
I don't know where you got that from.
It's true, though. Sci-Fi's written a lot of his raps.
Yeah, I'm sure he has, but I'm still sure there's plenty that Kanye's written himself.
No, not many, though.
A lot of stuff on the first album he did.
Well, even from Lucifer, Murder Capital, Where We Murder for Capital, he didn't even write that fucking verse. He was freestyling it, but he ended up being that other guy.
Yeah.
That's a little rap.
But he talks about
reference.
On his first album. He talks about it's on the end of the album when he's talking into the booth. He talks about him wanting to be a rapper and him coming to Jay-Z with these rhymes, and everyone's sort of laughing at him with the rhymes he had.
I still think he has had a ghostwriters for a lot of his career.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably has.
Yeah, which is fine because he's made fucking beats for everyone.
Yeah, the guys are
and his own albums and stuff. It's you get that free pass when you're just an absolute beast. Yeah,
exactly.
Producer,
when you're more about the other things, the other aspects of it, rather than actual lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. If you're just a rapper, then it's kind of weird to just be I think having ghostwriters.
Yeah, then it's kind of just a performer.
It's not just
But then Eazy-E, he never wrote any of his lyrics, and he's from that generation, an incredibly popular rapper, and it's just more of his kind of, or even ODB when we're watching.
Yeah, RZA
didn't really, exactly, didn't really write most of his own rhymes, but still, a great performer, and it's kind of how you deliver it, I guess. In the end, it becomes really important.
And like ODB, Kanye has that kind of cult status.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hugely popular, culturally iconic.
Yeah, like created a fucking, like, people told him he was insane. Like, created a fucking shoe that just isn't just taking the world by storm, and he's made fucking millions and millions of dollars off it, you know, and that also like kind of really affected fashion. You know, like years ago, people, and me included, was like, that's fucking nuts. This guy shouldn't be selling sneakers. It's insane. But look at him now. I got egg on my face. Kanye doesn't.
How do you reckon Kanye's faring these days in 2021?
Oh, he's lost his complete mind. He's a fucking lunatic.
He's lost his mind. He's lost his wife. Now battling for custody over his kids.
I hope he's not listening to this episode, because this will be like a fucking... yeah, if he's just listening, oh, these guys are fans. We are fans, by the way, Kanye.
We're objectively, we've got to say, you're losing your mind. Please, if you're not getting help already, go and get help. I'm sure he is. I'm pretty sure he's been diagnosed with bipolar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But he says that, but I don't know. Yeah.
Whether that's been like established by a medical professional or not.
When someone's that big of an icon, who knows what's actually going on? I really have no idea. I'm not going to get into that debate or discussion. But
no, we could give plenty of examples to this in supporting of Kanye West's just pure lunacy. That could chew up an entire episode itself.
Yeah. But most geniuses often are kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Exactly. And he also says it himself quite a
bit. yeah. But I really do think in some way he is definitely a genius, you know?
Yeah.
Like for the amount of stuff he's done, it's insane, you know? Good on him. Good on you, Kanye.
Yeah.
If you're out there listening, which I fucking highly doubt, good job.
Good job.
Rap Reviews supports you.
Just as a quick aside, have you guys heard the conspiracy theory of Kanye West being a reincarnation of David Bowie?
Oh. How is he a reincarnation when they're both still alive at the same time?
Might save that for the end of the episode to lure our listeners in, make them stay for the full journey.
They'll make them want to leave, I think. It's so dumb.
Okay, well maybe we won't fucking mention it at all. I don't know.
I kind of want to hear it, but it's fucking...
No, we'll get there. I definitely want to hear it. We'll get back to it.
Okay, fine. You've got me.
Exactly. Hooked.
Well, are we familiar with the song, gentlemen? Gorgeous, featuring Kid Cudi, Raekwon.
Yes.
Not really. Like, I remember listening to this album a couple of times, but I was like, it's a good album. I just, didn't have this affinity to it or whatever.
Fair enough. Well, this is track 2 on the album. It's produced by Kanye, Mike Dean, and it's No ID. Features Kid Cudi on the hook for the song and Raekwon with the final verse.
Man, bringing in Raekwon just like gives your raps like a level of credibility that nobody else could.
Oh yeah, and he's like, his verse essentially backs up Kanye's verses the way I've taken it anyway. We'll get into that when we get to the verse though. But Kanye West, gorgeous. 3 verses by the boy Ye and 1 by Raekwon. So let's get into it without further ado, gentlemen. Begins with the chorus by Kid Cudi. Ain't no question if I want it, I need it. I can feel it slowly drifting away from me. I'm on the edge, so why you playing? I'm saying I will never ever let you live this down. Down.
Is he
down?
Is he talking? Sorry to interrupt you before you got all those downs out.
Make sure the message got across, bro.
Is he talking about a potential suitor, like a female companion that he's searching for?
On first listen of the song, I think that's the intention that you meant to take away from it. But when you delve into the verses that appear, it's quite prevalent speaking about society and particularly American culture.
What is being like egregiously consumeristic and everybody just wanting something and
that's part of
consuming.
I think the song's more so about like how artists are treated in the industry and like specifically black artists.
Right.
Essentially, it's a very, like, put it this way, in very layman's terms, it's like a condensed 4-minute version of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay.
What, the whole song?
It's kind of like Kanye's idea of like the industry pimping out black people and like, using them because they're not, not used to having that sort of money that come from certain areas.
So what took Kendrick Lamar an entire album to get across Kanye, or is this Kid Cudi singing?
Maybe you need a Kid Cudi on the track.
Well, do you think that like as a whole, like this also kind of sets up the thematics of like the whole song?
This chorus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I say that is because ain't no question if I want it, I need it. I can feel it slowly drifting away from me. I'm on the edge, so why are you playing? I'm saying I will never ever let you live this down. I take that as like, that's someone wanting fame and wanting success and then society or the industry sort of pushing them to drift away from the success essentially and like use it to their benefit rather than the actual artist's benefit.
Yeah, so like that time old kind of being like, yeah, just spit out, and chew and spit out kind of thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like the system.
That's how I've taken that anyway. And I can read you the rest of the chorus and then see what you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing, I've foreseen it, I dreamed it. I can feel it slowly drifting away from me. No more chances. If you blow this, you bogus. I will never ever let you live this down.
I like the line about if you like blow it, it's what was the line there? Bogus and blowing it.
If you blow this, you bogus.
Yeah, like that. If you make one small slip, you're done for. Like they'll find another prodigy or so-called prodigy to fill your shoes.
Yeah, basically, I think that's exactly what he's saying. So I think the first part of that chorus is like from the artist's perspective, talking to the industry and the business side of it, and then the second part of it's the business talking to the artist and saying,
a bit of a call and response.
Yeah, I think that's what I've taken that as is what he's going for.
Yeah, I like that annotation.
I agree. You vibing that?
Yeah.
Again, like we say on the show all the fucking time, we don't know.
No,
this is an annotation.
Yeah.
If you got a problem with it,
I got really nothing. Better than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty to the point. I think it's kind of like, and it's kind of open as well. So it's like, but that's considering the rest of the verses which you guys haven't. We'll get into like that's basically makes sense for what it to be.
Yeah.
Interesting tidbit. Kid Cudi, I was watching an interview with him the other day from when this came out, and apparently Kanye showed him the beat. Not necessarily to have him on it, he just showed it to him because they were hanging out. And Kid Cudi said to him, like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I have something perfect for this. And Kanye was like, oh, cool. Like, I'll give it to you and you can come back with something, like record something and give it to me. And then Cudi, basically, when he took it with him, just said, like, yeah, I had no idea what I was going to do over it. I just loved it and wanted to be on it. So I had to, like, back up on the spot, just making up that I had something for it. And he was like, it's like a lot of mine and Kanye's relationship is that. So
I had that huge bluff on Cudi's behalf.
Yeah, and he nailed it. Like, the hook is so mesmerizing as Kid Cudi is one to do on, especially a Kanye song.
Well, it feels like kind of almost like a person under pressure as well. And like, I guess Kid Cudi was kind of under pressure. You know?
Kanye has that way of just like producing a beat, which is so like resonates with famous rappers. Have you seen that video of Jay-Z when he's in the studio and Kanye's playing him beats and Jay-Z's kind of just like bopping along, like pulling his like cap down over his headband, like, this is too good. This is too much. Goofy little Jay-Z in the studio.
To the point where you start getting angry at the person who made it for making you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
All right. So that's chorus. We'll get to verse 1. Kanye West. Here we go. Penitentiary chances, the devil dances and eventually answers to the call of autumn. All them are fallen for the love of ballin'. Got caught with 30 rocks. The cop looked like Alec Baldwin.
I could picture a few cops that would look like Alec Baldwin.
I think it's like
he's got a very authoritative face
and voice too, very commanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you actually did get arrested by Alec Baldwin. That'd be great. Do you reckon you'd be like, you just go with it? You wouldn't question why Alec Baldwin?
Oh fuck yeah! I wouldn't try and like argue or propose any kind of like counter.
You wouldn't be like, oh, by the way, like, aren't you legendary actor Alec Baldwin?
I mean, I'd probably say it and ask for an autograph, but I know that it's probably not going to do me well when he's like handcuffing me and pushing my head under the door of the car to put me in the cab.
Giving you that speech from Glenn Ross about closers. Closers don't get coffee.
Just imagine like, yeah, I'm also a cop kid. You know, just like, if you like, yeah, cool. Well, he just does his freelance. He just goes out and he's a cop. You wouldn't say that?
No. No idea what you're talking about.
Which is Alec Baldwin just going out and moonlighting as a cop sometimes.
Maybe he's like preparing for a role. Like James Woods in that Simpsons episode, you know, where he works at the Quickie Mart. No?
I know that reference. I mean, I could see I'm not sure how like dedicated Alec Baldwin is to the whole method acting thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No shade on Alec Baldwin.
I'm not too.
I just can't picture him going into the depths of like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. Well, the method is like kind of, it's so dumb because like the method actually is like kind of like Stanislavski's method of acting. It's just kind of how what gets actors in the mindset. But Daniel Day kind of took it to a new level of just like fully living as a character.
I would love to.
That's like actually like when movies say he's like a method actor, he's actually like not really. He's actually kind of his own, and then everyone who follows him is like That's like Daniel Day-Lewis method acting.
The Lewis method.
Yeah. The Lewis method of just like going, I'm playing Lincoln. I'm going to take a horse and carriage to work. You, sir, are also out of your mind, but genius.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the results, you can really question.
Exactly.
Back to Kanye, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll drink your milkshake.
So what do we think, gentlemen, about those few lines? Penitentiary chances, devil dances, fall of all them.
Oh, there was a lot of lyrics.
All them falling.
I think
for the love of bowling.
Overall, I see it as like the hanging over the head of like an artist could be the chances of falling into like the world of crime and ending up in jail. Just that's basically it. Just the hot possibilities of ending up in jail. Really.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this is where I sort of more took that angle of like particularly black artists and the whole To Pimp a Butterfly thing.
Could it be also maybe foreshadowing kind of the like craziness that some people would get from receiving that amount of fame? And Kanye was like obviously quite famous by this point, but his lunacy only really set in around like 2012, 13 when Yeezus came out and he started referring to himself as God.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, without getting too deep in it, but I think when his mum passed away, he started to be a bit more, let's say, archaic or like chaotic in media and stuff. He was sort of like, it seemed like he didn't care as much what people thought of him, and he was sort of just reacting to things.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
that wasn't the Taylor Swift thing happened. I think that was in the same year.
Dr. Drew Banks over here.
Yeah, what can I say?
None of us are registered psychologists. Don't take any of our advice.
But I think that's totally right. And I think more so in this verse, just reading a bit further onto it, is this first verse is like establishing how like the music industry would do that to people anyway. But I think especially the first part of this verse is like he's working from the ground up, from like, as Kendrick Lamar does the same thing to Pimp Butterflies, black people growing up in the projects or wherever, and then making it into a music industry. And then so this first verse is basically just saying like the racial inequality in America. I think he's just basically talking about that. So he's saying that like the chances are for people in those areas is like penitentiary,
selling drugs,
because that's like because of all them balling. They're going to do that to make
play
money.
Basketball. You got to do something.
You trapped.
Well, that's like a theme we've discussed many times.
Yeah, it
like
pops up quite.
The way of like living in these areas to make money is either you become like a famous rapper, you start selling crack, or you become like a famous
athlete of some sort. Yeah. I think that's basically what he's saying there. And then the got caught with 30 rocks, the cop look like Alec Baldwin. It's kind of like, well, this is all we have to do to survive. And then someone who hasn't experienced this is telling us, no, you're doing the wrong thing, and then puts us away for it. So it's like, how are we ever going to get out of that if we're in that vicious cycle?
Yeah.
Which then leads on to the next bit, which is intercentury anthems based off inner city tantrums, based off the way we was branded. Face it, Jerome get more time than Brandon, and at the airport they check all through my bag and tell me that it's random.
Racial profiling, I'm guessing, is exactly what he's talking about here. Is Brandon really that common a white name?
Well, talking about like Marlon Brando.
No, just Brandon, like a typical Chad type name. And going back to that,
Jerome
and Jerome's a typical.
Yeah.
And I guess Brandon rhymes with branded quite well. So I know a few pretty white Brandons, Irish Brandons, No offense, Kieran.
None taken.
And then, at the airport, check out through my bag, tell me that it's random.
Yeah, my dad actually gets every single time nearly.
Really?
Dude, I get bomb swapped.
I've been a bunch as well, yeah.
It's like, dude, the IRA doesn't exist really anymore. I'm not carrying a nail bomb on me.
You know what I was actually thinking about Irish people the other day?
Well, yeah.
Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting that you guys are like one of the only white people that was also like heavily oppressed by white people, More like, you know what I mean? Like it makes you guys relatively unique in that sense.
What was the
You could throw the Scottish in there for good fun, but like they didn't get nearly as fucked as like the Irish.
What was the classic line, especially here in Australia, when like the colonial powers came in and all the Irish convicts were getting sent over, and once like Irish people started looking for work, there was the classic tagline like dogs, Irishmen, and something else need not apply. It was like blatant discrimination.
Yeah, that's hectic.
Is that why like Irish people work really hard now for the most part?
It could be that.
Like every time I work with Irish people, they're always really going at it. Really working, outworking me. That's for sure.
Strong work ethic, and me, first generation Australian, that work ethic has slowed right down.
Yeah, well, I've worked with you.
My old man.
You used to be like pretty lazy when I worked with you back in the old supermarket.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
But you know what? When you needed those nuts, when you were filling those nuts up, remember that? That was sick.
Yeah. One scoop for you, one scoop for me.
Where did we land on those lines? Racial inequality.
Basically just going through profiling and how, going back to the classic old topic of white privilege and how part of that privilege extends to us not getting frisked when we go to the airport or getting searched or not being pulled over by the cops as frequently or regularly and not having that kind of incredibly high likelihood of being arrested or worse by the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much it. Surmise that.
I think that's it, and I think it pretty much continues along that path, gentlemen. So
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be fun. It does have some really good punchlines in this song. They tell me that it's random, but we stay winning. This week has been a bad massage. I need a happy ending and a new beginning and a new fitted and some job opportunities that's lucrative.
Ooh.
If you were getting a bad massage, though, would you really ask for a happy ending?
Well, I guess at that point you kind of just like, all right, look, you just hurt me at this point. Just you
suck
can't really go wrong with the other one. I guess.
Suck my dick. Yeah, it's true.
It could be bent fully out of shape though. If
Yeah,
the technique is really bad.
I think that's good though. If it's a little
terrible
bent,
massage.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
probably
like
wouldn't be asking for a happy ending.
exactly. Like she's manhandling you.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't actually quite say that. He says this week's been a bad massage. I need a I guess I need a happy ending. It's kind of like the massage is bad, but I need to have a happy ending. So it's like maybe there's like a part of the transaction where the person giving the bad massage then tags in the good person to give the happy ending.
Yeah,
just the mouth.
He finds
the mouth.
He finds a new vendor.
Finds a
new masseuse.
Yeah.
So where do we get from those lines?
It's a bit of bad massage and a happy ending, a new beginning and a new fitted, and some job opportunities is lucrative.
Yeah, just thinking positive.
That's it. But that's fucking it, dude. That's fucking it.
Yeah, he's like despise all of the I guess in like intruding thoughts about where I could be and all that and all the negativity. It's like beside the side, I'm gonna think positively and just try to capitalize on every opportunity, which you should always
that's the first step.
do.
If you think that way,
no
matter how bad the situation is, it's definitely gonna help you.
And you should honestly always try to capitalize on any like opportunity in life that presents itself. I think I'm under that impression at least.
Yes, sir.
This is hot life tips from Mano.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say I'm a loser these days. I'm relatively.
How would you describe yourself then?
I don't know. I'm like a bit of a go-getter, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you move around. Yeah,
I move around. I work a lot these days.
Yeah, you've really taken on that Irish work ethic.
Yeah, you transferred it.
Well, I got a bit of Italian in me, Yeah, so that actually they're shit workers.
I was about to say, don't Italians have like a really bad rap?
Yeah, Italians,
work
and I'm also a quarter Greek, so that's fuck. It's weird. Maybe the Danish part of me is a good worker.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it's just you. You
Oh
found it within yourself.
Maybe you're just a good worker outside of your siesta in the afternoon.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a loser, but I think I'm like a moderately successful person. I have a podcast.
Speaking of that podcast, let's just finish this verse up and get to the next one. They got a couple of lines left of it. This the real world, homie. School finished. They done stole your dreams. You don't know who did it. I treat the cash the way the government treats AIDS. I won't be satisfied till all my N-words get it. Get it?
The way the government treats AIDS, I'm guessing this is before they finally started funding like a preventative plan for AIDS.
I think so, yeah.
We're kind of shunning it off to the side because it was prevalent in communities that the government at the time, aka the Reagan administration, didn't view too favourably, which was the queers.
So I'm not laughing at the atrocities, just how Kieran's saying it.
Well, and also just how ridiculous the situation was. If it was like a bunch of like rich white people.
Reagan, he was so like obviously evil.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's like Trump,
Dude brought in fucking industrials.
The industrial war machine.
What's it called? Prison system. Prison.
You're really
I'll edit this out.
Yeah.
Prison system industrial complex, is that the one? I don't know. It's a big. It's a big phrase.
There's the industrial
It's a bit
war
too much.
complex.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess like the switch from government being the sole manager of prisons, which it should be because they're the ones who, ultimately at the end of the day lock
To
people up.
privatizing it.
Yeah, it's privatization, which
Yeah.
reliant on making money for shareholders, which involves filling these prisons
Yeah.
and cramming them as deeply as they can.
And that is actually where you tie in almost to like semi kind of what they like these guys are talking about in the song is like with like the whole modern like slavery still exists, like the 13th Amendment, how like predominantly black people are arrested and then they're put into like a prison system that makes them like often work. So then they build like industrial.
Well, you look at like the laws that were brought in around crack cocaine, but they weren't brought in for cocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Because
you could get like mandatory minimums, which were way higher for crack than they were for coke. Yet essentially
the same exactly. Yeah, the
but
same drug.
Just
Yeah.
crack was more prevalent in the black community.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt that like there is some pretty, I don't know, scary, obvious, like to support basically everything that's being said in this song. There's a lot of stuff out there that can really obviously support what they're saying. And,
I would recommend anybody listening to this podcast to go and watch the Netflix documentary. I think it's 13 or 13th.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's on Netflix. I think it's just not actually it. But yeah, 13th Amendment. I think. Actually, maybe it isn't.
It's a doco.
Yeah, that actually isn't. Yeah, that's the one. That is a Netflix show. Not the point. So dumb to even bring it up. I was getting confused with another one where this guy ends up in jail. What's it called? Like Number 13, I think it's called.
Okay.
Also a good documentary about the prison system.
So just anything around the number 13, which is ominous in itself. Coincidence?
Yeah. Anyway, let's just keep on.
Anyway, I didn't expect you guys to go that deep into all of this because we've got 3 verses of this coming up. So,
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe we should be a bit more shallow in our interpretation.
so far it's been good. I just do love that last line though. I'll treat the cash the way the government treats AIDS. I won't be satisfied. So all my N words get it.
Yeah.
He wants his people to be reprimanded, I guess.
Okay, I was like not even viewing that line in context of the last bit and went on this whole rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a necessary rabbit hole, I feel.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, we never know, really. Kicks back into the chorus. Kid Cudi delivers those same lines again. And we go into verse 2, also by Kanye. Is hip-hop just a euphemism for a new religion? The soul music of the slaves that the youth is missing? But this is more than just my road to redemption. Malcolm West had the whole nation standing at attention.
So he's comparing hip-hop to like a religion, I guess, for people of his like area and kind of socio-economic opportunities that hip hop is kind of their redeeming factor.
I think this is his way of saying like, this is their like modern day slave music, and it's their like outcry of what's like the repression and stuff that's going on. And like as free as people are today, they're still very much in slavery.
And also,
in
like,
of a lot of things.
black gospel is also incredibly popular as well, which is like ties into the religious thing.
Yeah.
Which he ends up making later on a gospel album.
It was always going to come at some point. Let's not kid ourselves.
Is this related to the videos that you see of Kanye like playing the organ out in like
his
the
Sunday
desert?
service that he does?
Yeah,
He made a gospel album like what, last year or the year before?
Last year.
And people
I listened to it
overdubbing it
once.
with like Law and Order theme song.
That's pretty good. I haven't seen that.
His music's gone way like more and more like experimental over the years, eh?
Kanye's.
Yeah. Like if you think about it, like like when you're like college dropout, it's like, whoa, we got fucking Chris from Coldplay on there. That's pretty cool. And then it's like now it's like some of his songs are like spoken, like the one he did with the 7-track album. When he was doing that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, the first song is just him basically.
Yeah, it's like spoken word.
Yeah.
There's some fucking.
But I think Yeezus was probably like the height of his experimental shit, and he was like purposely trying to push an envelope.
But still, like a gospel album, like that's pretty nuts.
It's not experimental though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess in the fact that like to what your fans want to.
Yeah, I guess he's sort of past that. Doesn't really
And it's still got like these like weird hip hop kind of vibes to it, you know.
Yeah, it actually has some really cool instrumentals in it. Like the beats on it.
Yeah,
really
which is
rad.
not. You know, then it's not really like a straight.
Personally, but like such don't relate to it. But
yeah, well, we didn't grow up listening. To
yeah,
gospel
exactly.
music.
That's right. Yeah. But it does slap some of the songs. Yeah, that's basically what he's saying there, and they're just saying like he's sort of like the figurehead and like the voice of the voiceless for those things. So saying that I'm Malcolm West, he's like the new advocate.
Yeah,
as long as I'm in Polo, and obviously Malcolm X. Yeah, we all got that.
Yeah, I got it.
You got that?
Yeah.
No, sweet. As long as I'm in Polo, smiling, they think they got me, but they try to crack me if they ever see a black me. I thought I chose a field where they couldn't sack me. If an N-word ain't shooting a jump shot, running a track meet.
Is he talking about how black people feel that they have to lose their blackness in order to fit into white society? That if he's not wearing that polo, like he's dressed for the golf club,
that's 100% it.
He's going to be thrown to the side and treated like dirt.
Pretty much, yeah, spot on. I think also the whole bit about they try to crack me if they ever see a black man. It's like they're more than happy having him in like where they think is a safety zone. Look like acting like one of them, whatever that is. And then whenever he gets mad about what's happening, then all of a sudden it's Kanye's crazy. Kanye's just like a crazy black guy, crazy rapper. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, well, if you like, well, that's what you want, I'll give that to you. Then, like, I assume that's what he means by that.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Like, and then I thought it
good
chose
annotation.
a field they couldn't sack me. And it's like, again, black people being athletes. It's like, I thought I chose a field where I could have actually had, my expression out there and they couldn't sack me like a running back or whatever.
That will
quarterback, sorry.
Cheer and venerate them when they're in positions of like success, but otherwise.
And he's saying if you're not basically like shooting through their hoops and running their, tracks or whatever, you're not going to be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
You have more chance for succeeding if you blend in with what they consider the norm or the convention, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's got. They said that also about like the Academy Awards. Like to really win one, you got to do all this. Yeah, do all this bullshit. Which is like why some people like will never win it because they're just like, I don't want to fucking go and
closer to the hole, sir.
Play golf with these old fucking rich cunts.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Well, you can. Yeah, okay, yeah. Cut this out. I was going to go down a Weinstein path. Anyway. Don't want to open that.
Yeah, we would have got enough tangents.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole Weinstein episode.
But this pimp is at the top of Mount Olympus, ready for the world's games. This is my Olympics. We make 'em say ho because the game's so pimpish. I'll choke a South Park rider with a fish stick.
Just love the... At least he came around to it, I guess.
He finally mentioned it back.
Yeah.
Well, I think originally he was like, thought it was quite funny, and then he just threw this line.
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess it's like a just fuck everyone who thinks I'm crazy sort of thing.
Yeah.
So for those of us who don't watch South Park, does someone want to describe?
Oh, you haven't seen the episode?
No, I don't watch a lot of South Park.
Oh, okay.
I know that Kanye featured.
There's essentially an episode where...
Jimmy writes a joke. Jimmy writes a joke, and Carmen kind of steals it. But it's like, do you like fish sticks? And then you say like, yeah. It's like, what are you, a gay fish? And but it's like, fish sticks. And everyone, it's like a dumb joke that if everyone's like losing their shit laughing, it becomes like this kind of like craze, and everyone's saying it, and there's like. And everyone's kind of claiming responsibility, and then someone says it to Kanye, and he just like doesn't get it, and starts to get like deeply offended. But he's like, "I'm not a gay fish." It's like he's like, "I know, we know you're not a gay fish," but he's like, "I'm not a gay fish," So he starts like murdering people that like he thinks created the joke, and like And at the very end of the episode, he actually realizes that he is a gay fish, so he just jumps in the water and starts kissing fish. It's
so stupid.
It's stereotypical, but it's actually kind of it's in every episode of South Park. I think it has a certain level of.
Oh yeah, I think they're basically saying that Kanye takes himself too seriously, sort of is in his own world and doesn't understand the joke that everyone else gets.
He can't see. Yeah, he can't. He like struggles to get on normal wavelengths. I think a little bit, and that's kind of it. Like, because everyone it's like a real dumb layman's joke. And
Which
yeah.
Well, I think I really want to say that on this bit here, he's actually acknowledging that and being like, "Oh yeah, I know that I overreact, so I'm going to pretend I'm overreacting now to troll him." But there's another half of me that's just like, "No, I think he's just genuinely angry. Like, he doesn't actually get what's going on." Could go very much either way with that.
Yeah, like I kind of almost imagine him watching that episode and him being like, "Why they think that I like that I'm a gay fish?" Like he still wouldn't get it, you know? Like like why at the end did I become a gay fish? Like why'd they do that? Like just I really do think, like, I imagine when he first saw it and people would be like, "Kanye, easy, you gotta chill, man." Like it's you know, like I don't know. I wish someone recorded it at the time.
Yeah, it would be good to see that.
But maybe not. Maybe we're just being assholes and he took it, you know, as a satire that it was.
Yeah, very well could be that, where he's just sort of laughing at it. I think he is. I think he's more so just tongue-in-cheek being like, check a South Park writer with a fish stick while you're at it.
Have you ever seen that thing though? He's like, "Man, these paparazzis, man, they ruin my life." And it's like, if we cut to it, it's on YouTube, and it's like a paparazzi like in the morning, like, "Hey Kanye, what's going on?" And he's like, "Fuck you."
It's the best video though. He's in his garage.
Yeah.
The door opens. "Good morning, Kanye. Shut the fuck up." And just shuts it.
And then also that one, and also when he's talking about Lady Gaga, he's like, "You know, Lady Gaga, she's like the creative designer of Polaroid. Like, I like Gaga's music, but what should you know about cameras?"
Yeah, it's correct. That's the BBC one, isn't it? And he just starts yelling out random names, so like Walt Disney, or is that the Sway
Yeah,
one?
that's the Sway one. He really does have like some all-time fucking amazing videos on the internet.
Yeah, he does.
That reminds me, before we get too sidetracked, I want to read out all of the celebrities that Kanye West has compared himself to. Ready for this list?
I'm surprised I've never actually thought to Google this before.
Okay. Kurt Cobain, Leonardo da Vinci, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, Google, Jimi Hendrix, Terry Hermes, Howard Hughes, Michael Jackson, Steve Jobs, Ralph Lauren, Michelangelo, Jim Morrison, Nike, Pablo Picasso, Axl Rose, William Shakespeare, Socrates, David Stern, Donald Trump, William Wallace, Andy Warhol, Anna Wintour, and Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
He's got a fictional character and a couple of labels, unless he's referring to like the Greek goddess Nike, or no, he's a Roman goddess. Is it?
Oh,
Angel.
I think he's probably referring to the shoe brand.
It's just Steve Jobs, Google. That's just so good.
All those famous people.
When he's saying his Sway, he's like, "You just don't know what I'm talking about." He's like, "I was just like, Sway's trying to be so nice."
It ain't Ralph though, Sway.
He's like, "What do you mean? People like me."
Oh,
no, if you haven't seen it, listeners, type in Kanye West on Sway. It's amazing. It's 5 minutes of a train wreck in slow
5 minutes if you don't have the answer, Sway. Is it Ralph though?
Yeah. Sway trying to work out what the answer is. Like, what even?
Sway just trying to talk to like a human being, and Kanye just not allowing it. Anyway, I insisted to get up off of this dick, and these drugs N-words can't resist it. Remind me when they tried to have Ali enlisted. If I ever wasn't the greatest N-word, I must have missed it.
Well, I think almost the list supports that kind of. He just thinks he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's like also in reference to the line earlier before, with when they tried to have Ali enlisted into the army.
He's
and
like
that was obviously Ali's thing. I'm the greatest and this and that.
This is the Willy Wonka of music.
Willy Wonka wasn't even the Willy Wonka of chocolate. It was the other guy.
What do you mean?
Yeah, at the start of the movie, that guy is all creepy to Charlie, and he's like meant to be the villain. But then when you really look at it, he's actually like he was like the independent chocolate maker, and Willy Wonka was the big dude who came over and basically like stole his recipe and took over his whole life and ruined his life.
So he was the Thomas Edison to Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
which he also refers to himself as Thomas Edison.
Well, Thomas Edison was more just like a jealous rival than anything.
Yeah, but he took Tesla's ideas and marketed them in a way that, well, some of the ideas.
Hey, he was just also opposing like AC and DC current.
Well, yeah,
he was all about DC.
He chose the fucking dumb one.
He's a fucking cunt though. Like, you know, he used to just take like elephants and run AC power into them and kill them. Like, see, look at this, look at AC, and it's so bad it murders things. It's like, well, you can fucking hook anything up to electricity, you're gonna murder it. You cunt.
What a lunatic!
Yeah, he was because he kind of helped bring Tesla to America. So like they were kind of like he was like his protege turned, you know, he was like his apprentice in a way like that's kind of cool. But Edison fucked him over because he said to him, he's like, all right, if you create something in this certain amount of time, I'll give anyone in the company $100,000. And Tesla spent like fucking like the 60 day, like the 10 days or whatever, he's just like fucking tooth and nail every day, and created this invention and was like, here, man, I did it. Like, you can have 100,000. And Tesla was like, I was joking about that. He's like, good job, by the way, but I'm not giving you $100,000. Tesla was like, what?
What a prick.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Fuck Edison.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. If you think about it as well, like, Tesla had like autism. We know now. And like, Edison didn't. So he's basically just getting this guy work, the smart autistic kid, to do shit for him and just not paying him properly.
Exploiting the fuck out of
It's so grim.
A terrible human being.
Anyway, yeah, the point is, Kanye thinks he's one of the greatest.
Yeah. And then he's referencing Ali about the being listed, but him standing up for himself, saying like, "No, what's America done for me?" You know, what was his line? Something about those Viet Congs ain't done nothing to me, or something like that.
Yeah, when Ali was a conscientious objector.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, right, yeah.
It's in the line. Pay attention to it.
He's also a bit of a cunt.
Ali.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think what he did to
never
George.
Never knew the guy personally. So.
What he did to George Foreman was pretty mean. Yeah.
What did he do to George Foreman?
Oh, well, just like George Foreman helped him get his, because he was a conscientious objector to the war. He lost his boxing license, and George Foreman became champ and just like was like knocking everyone out, and just felt like the only real like challenge for him was Ali. So then he helped. He also gave Ali money when he had like nothing when he came back. So yeah, he gave him money, and then he helped him get his boxing license back. And then as soon as they had scheduled the fight, just started going down to George Foreman's fucking gym and calling him an ape and shit.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and just berating him for the entire 3 fights that they had. Just fucking constant, like Conor McGregor levels of like heckling.
Yeah, right.
And it's like kind of like one of those, like we were talking about John Lennon, a couple episodes. Like it's kind of one of those things that's just like, I guess if someone's super popular, like it's like kind of overlooked in a way. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like not to be like a dick to like say Kobe Bryant, but like the guy was a fucking legend. But so it's like easy to forget that he did have like some rape allegations in the early 2000s.
Wasn't he convicted for said allegations?
No, I don't think he was ever actually convicted. He was acquitted of the crimes, but he was like which is like obviously like innocent until proven guilty. But there was like it's kind of one of those kind of sketchy things, but Kobe is one of the greatest basketball players of all time and an inspiration to so many people, and it's just kind of overlooked.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd never heard that story about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, exactly. Because I grew up like loving him, and then I was just like on SBS was this George Foreman documentary, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll watch that. And then you just like see it from his point of view, and it's like, fuck, like George Foreman. Sorry, George Foreman. Was it? Oh yeah, no, not George Foreman. What's his name? Joe Frazier. Sorry, I must say we've been seeing George Foreman the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe Frazier. That entire thing, not George Foreman. Ali and George Foreman did fight though. But anyway, Joe Frazier died in like fucking the top of a gym in Harlem, and like no one he became like kind of forgotten and died poor, and like the guy that helped him kind of continue his success was like this is legend that everyone still to this day and we'll continue to talk about for the next like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, fair.
Huge fucking side point, but I just think it's interesting.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Wonder how that will apply to Kanye when eventually he perishes.
Funny you say that. No, it's nothing coming up.
But I don't think Kanye's done anything really like he hasn't been like accused of anything hectic or anything.
No, he just said some outrageous opinions.
Exactly. He's pretty harmless.
Even his opinions aren't really like too offensive to that many people, I don't think.
Because most people are like sitting there scratching his
yeah, it's more confusing if anything. And like,
you okay, Kanye? You look like you need a hug.
Alright, final verse by Kanye on this song begins with, I need more drinks and less lights, and that American Apparel girl in just tights. She told the director she's trying to get into school. He said take them glasses off and get in the pool.
With the little like what do you got to do to be successful?
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like,
how much do you want it?
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah.
How much do you want it, though?
Not that much.
You wouldn't suck me off to get it?
I would not.
What are you trying to go for, a Weinstein guy?
Yeah, I don't even have anything.
Well, that was heavily implied in the verse.
That's what we're going for, but I have nothing to offer Ben. Like, I couldn't make him, Not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in the same level as Ben.
Yeah.
He might just blow you for free though.
Actually, I could film
We
it.
just blow each other at this point, really.
Yeah.
What have I got to lose?
It's just going to be so awkward the next
Except for my
day.
girlfriend, that's all.
Who listens to this show.
Okay, we got that. It's pretty straightforward setups and bars there. It's been a while since I watched The Tube because, like a Crip said, I got way too many blues for any more bad news. I was looking at my resume, feeling real fresh today. They rewrite history I don't believe in yesterday.
Man, they came out fast. But
Sorry, I got a bit into that then.
He's not weighed down by the past. He's not weighed down by what's preceded him. He's always just seen a kind of clear light forward and how he's going to make his mark on the industry and not trying to replicate anybody else, just be his own unique person.
That's 100% perfectly annotated.
Thank you.
I believe.
Been doing this for what, 34 episodes now?
They say you're good after 14. So
yeah, that was a good one. Good job. Good adaptation. Yeah.
That's pretty much perfect.
We're never 100% sure of what but
no, but it made sense.
That whole thing is that the beginning of like, because like a Crip said, I got way too many blues for any more bad news, which is also a funny line because the Crips obviously wear blue.
Yep.
And then him just sort of, as you said, just turn around and be like, look, I was looking at my resume. I'm feeling fresh today. I'm rewriting history. Like, this is me now.
And the next line is...
Yes. The next line is... What's a black beetle anyway? A fucking roach. I guess that's why they got me sitting in fucking coach.
Black Beetle, like...
referring to himself as, like, you know, the Beatles?
Yeah, basically.
I swear he said... I've heard him say that in the song.
This is the song he says. I think this is the first time this is ever coined. I was trying to Google the origin of Black Beetle because it's like... There's a Ray Shremmerd song, Black Beetle.
And also Kendrick says it in his song as well.
Yeah, you could say it in Black of the Berry, maybe.
No, I think he's like... Call me Black Beetle. I swear to God, there's
heaps of rappers say it now, but this is the first time I'd ever heard it. And when I tried to Google the origin of it, there was nothing that was giving me back. So I assume he's coined this term. If I'm wrong, someone let us know and correct us, because I couldn't find anything on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially is what he's saying. It's like someone on the level of like that's a black version of the Beatles, and it's like what would they be in comparison to the Beatles? You know what I mean? I think that's what he's posing.
Yeah.
And saying like, what's a black beetle anyway? A fucking roach, because that's what a black beetle is, a cockroach.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they got me sitting in fucking coach, saying he's not getting the same treatment as white people of his scope would.
He's not like getting the mania that surrounded like the Beatles and
not even necessarily that, just being treated differently because he's not white.
Yeah,
I guess.
And given the same level of respect.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if it's like the accolades that he's had, if you like post it onto someone else, they might get more love and appreciation than what he has. Yeah. And he's saying that because of the colour of his skin. Yeah. I wonder if he's written this song because it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. 3 really good verses. So now that you said that to me before, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Guess we may never know.
We could look it up. Maybe. I
don't know. My guy said I need a different approach because people is looking at me like I'm sniffing coke. It's not funny anymore. Try different jokes. Tell them hug and kiss my ass, X and O. Kiss the ring while they at it. Do my thing while I got it. I play strings for the dramatic ending of that whack shit.
Well, like sniffing coke, just like he's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And his friends sort of telling him maybe try a different approach because the way you're reacting to it is not helping your situation.
Yeah.
Even though you might not be to blame to why it's happening, but like you're not helping it by reacting a certain way.
And what he's saying, he's completely unfazed by it. He's just going to continue on the path that he sees fit.
Yeah, pretty much. He's saying like I'm sick of hearing it. It's not funny anymore. Try different jokes. And that's what he goes and I'll tell him hug and kiss my ass, X and O. Kiss the ring while they at it. Kind of like he's royalty, but also like a butthole. And then play strings for the dramatic ending of that whack shit. I think he's just talking about his production. He's just going to be loud and like boisterous anyway, because that's what his style is. Yeah. And which is actually very much his music. He does use a lot of strings in his sampling, and does normally have like quite a harsh turn into like, you know, just crazy shit going on with like different sounds and spheres and whatever else.
And also drowning out the whack shit, like all of his music is gonna kind of silence his critics in a way that...
Yeah, actually I didn't even think of it as that. It's pretty much exactly it.
He speaks through his music and his success and the influence that he's had.
Yeah, spot on. I agree. Couldn't add anything better to that.
You were crushing it tonight, dude.
Come on.
You were eating this ass.
And it's how many weeks has it been since we recorded? So
It's been a few weeks. Yeah.
we're sorry for the huge gaps in episodes, listeners.
It's been a busy time.
Season 4, I'm telling you guys, will be out every week on the same time.
Yeah,
this season, we're still trying to work it
As soon
out.
as we say that there's going to be a season which is going to be going smoothly and we'll get an episode every week, is when it's destined to fail. So season 4 is going to be a fucking train wreck. Just wait for it.
Don't say that.
Don't prep him for that.
Don't put that negative energy.
The finding your feet season, and then season 4.
That's when I start to make money off this show.
Season 4.
I want that boat and that island, dude.
I want that boat.
This is like our version of Adam Scott and Rob Lowe coming into the show. You know what I mean? Season 4. You feel that?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
No, come on, brother.
Nah, actually, it does this huge turning point. It's actually early end of season 2, though. To call you out there. No.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying our season 4 is like their version of Rob Lowe, like our version of Rob Lowe. And let's move past that.
Stop referencing Parks and
This
Rec.
is the first time I've referenced it on the podcast.
I don't know, I don't want it.
Why? Because I know it now. Like, I like it.
No,
I
I'm
also
glad
know
you're
it.
enjoying it.
Yeah,
It's a
right,
great
that's
show.
fair.
Anyone out there who has never seen Parks and Rec, it's just a fucking great show. You'll have a blast. If you think this is good, it's fucking way better than this.
Yeah, if being entertained by this for an hour, surely you can smash 3 episodes of Parks and Rec and have a better time. Well,
Oh fuck, we shouldn't stop. They're going to actually just
Anyway.
stop listening. Anyway,
act like I. Let me try that again. Next line is: act like I ain't had a belt in 2 classics. I ain't got it. I'm coming after whoever who has it. I'm coming after whoever who has it. You're blowing up. That's good. Fantastic.
so little wrestling reference or boxing? You know, maybe.
Yeah,
tying
I think
into
boxing's what he's going. Having the belt. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he just
Well, any
wants that
sort of
belt.
fighting,
He wants
I
to.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
If anyone wants to be a contender, he's coming after them.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's got his accolades, he knows what he's about, but also like he's still hungry and he's still coming for it.
Yeah.
Nice. You're blowing up, that's good, fantastic. I already said that. That, y'all, it's like that, y'all. I don't really give a fuck about it at all, because the same people that try to blackball me forgot about 2 things: my black balls.
Is that a reference to playing pool and someone's trying to finish him, win the game over him, and he's like, yeah, I don't care, I've got 2 of them anyway.
No, like blackballing someone though as well, right?
Was blackballing someone?
Oh, like kind of fuck them over in a way.
Yeah.
You never heard that expression?
No.
Trying to blackball
no.
me?
No.
I get, wow. Maybe it is derived in, because I never thought about it until I thought you were like you were playing silly buggers.
No, I'm just getting very literal again in my interpretation.
Classic Kieran. Yeah, but maybe it ties into like an old pool thing.
Yeah, I actually didn't even consider the pool thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. People trying to blackball him. He's like, I feel about 2 things, man.
Suck my balls.
Black balls, and it's kind of like I'm also black, so I also have something to prove, so I'm even more dangerous than you think.
And it also ties in with the rest of the song.
It does, dude.
From your theory, which I think is like, now that we're going through it, I totally agree with you.
Which theory?
Your theory of like how it's like kind of how like it's his idea of how black people are kind of used and abused in the.
Yeah, I think more so towards that verse as well. It sort of highlights more of that. First verse is more about just like inequality in America. And,
Yeah. But like you said, this is really Pimp Butterfly.
Yeah, it kind of is condensed to like 4 minutes. And then verse 4, there's another chorus by Kid Cudi. Then verse 4 comes in, which is Raekwon of Wu-Tang fame, if you all aren't familiar. And before I read the verse, because hardly any of this has been annotated by people online, and a lot of it is kind of just like to the point, and he's kind of just backing up what Kanye says by speaking about a bunch of lavish things that he can now afford, that he's been successful as a black artist.
Yep.
So I'll get into it. I'm kind of just going to read stacks of it.
Yeah.
So prepare yourself. Verse 4, Raekwon.
Hey, yo.
Oh, nice. I wasn't going to do it. Appreciate that.
So good.
Give us another one.
Hey, yo.
I done copped Tim's, lived in lenses, kid Armani suits, fresh fruits, bally boots, and Benzes.
So he's just talking about like the kind of wealth that he's been used to, or like wearing the flyest shit.
Yeah, that he's worked himself to be able to obtain. Lived in lenses, I assume is living like through the camera lens.
Yeah, true.
Maybe even through the lens of people who don't understand. That's how I took it. And then I think he's just sort of listing off like luxurious items that he can now afford because of that.
Yeah.
Counting up, smoking one cuff, live as a red jag, a Louis bag, grabbing a blunt, fuck it.
Okay, he can kind of kick back now because he's established himself. He knows where he's at.
Oh, dude, man. He took vitamins this morning or something. Because he's just on, man. He's just actually thinking of things I've not thought of, and I've done the research. Yeah, that's fully. I didn't even consider that. That's to the point where he can chill now because he's made it.
Well, like, yeah, you don't smoke a blunt before you're about to do something productive, Mano.
That's loaded, dude.
Low blow.
Yeah,
I still going to work high.
And then the next line carries on to that. Steam about 101 L's, which I've now learned L's is a joint.
You never heard that term before?
Never heard that, dude.
Really?
No.
Smoke an L? You
No.
never rolled an L, smoked an L?
No.
Fuck, man.
Do you even smoke weed, Ben?
Yeah. But...
Shit, man. It's fun. It's like, it's just a joint, but it's like,
No, I've never heard that.
You never had little competitions? It's just like, me and my buddy used to smoke so many that would just be like, we'd rate each other's joints. And you'd always give the other guy a lower number just to piss him off. You're like, it's like a 7.5. Like, no, what the fuck? It's
what's
always
L?
a 9.
Where's L come from?
Well, because like you get like the papers and you kind of like it forms like an L. It's like how do you get like normal size skins or papers to like you can get like a kind of like a big joint size worth out of it.
Gotcha.
A real
Yeah,
fat
right.
boy.
Yeah, fatty.
So with this guy, so Raekwon is saying that he steams about 101 L's a day.
That's like Snoop Dogg levels.
Yeah,
But I guess like he's got a lot of free time and like money wouldn't really be
I
objective.
think that's his point. He's getting off essentially. Yeah. Kites off to jails, buying sweats, running up on Stetson. N-word hat game was special. It matched every black pair of Nikes, throwing dice for decimals.
Wait, what's Stetson's?
I'd have to look it up. It's like a cowboy hat. It's like the original design of like the cowboy hat. You know what I mean?
Okay, so he's like a modern day cowboy, just like playing dice.
Yeah, well, I think that's just like the brand he wears from the sounds of it. It just matches all the rest of his cool clothes that he wears with it.
Oh, okay, fair.
The older head, bolder head would train a soldier dead. Make sure he right in the field, not a soldier dead.
Well, he's like I guess like the older head, right?
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So does he see himself as like a bit of a father figure to the up and coming rappers of the day?
Yeah, people that are in his position that he was in, I guess. See, I didn't know where to take that because the next line I was a bit confused by the next line. The next line is that meant code red, bent off the black skunk, the black Dutch back of the old shed.
Yeah, I have no...
So I took it as like the older head, bolder head would train a soldier head. It's talking like in the street, maybe some of the older kids would like teach the younger kids the way of the street and then they'd go out into it and then something would happen where it's like the soldier's dead, so someone gets killed. That meant code red.
No, make sure he right in the field, not a soldier dead. So it's like, make sure it goes well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I range around the head on a soldier dead. And then it's like, that meant code red, bent off the black skunk, the black Dutch, back of the old shed. Does that mean if someone does, then it's like, oh shit, everyone runs off, go behind the shed, smoke some weed to try and deal with it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm guessing Dutch refers to the weed.
The back Dutch.
I did look Dutch. Yeah, Dutch was Dutch Masters, a cigar company, and that's like we used to use the roller blunt. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah, and back of the old shit. Generally, like we're in the kind of adolescent days. You like kind of smoking weed and like kind of you're hiding away kind of thing. You don't like.
Well, that's what I took that as, and also because the line of that is, if you can't live, you're dying. You give or buy in. So
yeah.
But I think it's a bit more open to interpretation. I'm not sure if that's 100%.
Well, it's true. It's like some girls, they just want to have fun,
when the working day is done.
Yeah, I guess.
So we've gone from Kanye,
really
which was like nice and not easy to annotate, but there was like...
It does really throw a spanner in the works when you go to someone else, like say,
yeah,
like
it does when there's a
Raekwon.
feature on it. Yeah, I almost considered not doing the Raekwon verse, also because there was 3 Kanye verses. But then I read it and I was kind of like, it's actually it's a cool verse, and it's like, it's kind of saying the same thing anyway. So
I think
it's like
it
there's
would
not
be-
much more we can.
It would be kind of remiss of us not to...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's also Raekwon is like,
it'd be
one of the best rappers of
it'd
all
be
time.
disrespectful to
yeah.
Raekwon.
yeah, I don't want
It'd be
Raekwon
disrespectful
calling
to
me up, be
Raekwon.
like, yo, dude, I was listening to last week's episode. I noticed you skipped my
Yeah,
verse.
because he's got personal numbers.
Yeah,
right on speed dial.
me and Quan. That's what he likes. That's what he likes to be called when it's just you and
I thought it
him.
was Chef. Dude.
That's what I've been called.
That's fool's gold.
Whenever I
Chef.
text him, it's Chef, babe. All right, couple lines left. Keep it real or keep it moving, keep grinding, keep shining. To every young man, this is the plan. Learn from others like your brothers Ray and Kanye.
Which is, great little inspiration at the end, which is kind of like the start of the song,
He wraps it up nicely with that.
like a bit of negativity, like thinking about the problems in the world and the negativity. But then he's like, we're gonna be, gonna put all that aside and be positive. And maybe that's how Raekwon comes in. Is just like, put all that aside in a way, just smoke some weed and just enjoy your day.
Or maybe it's less like not fully forget about it. Just
get your shit together.
Yeah, get your shit together. We'll smoke some weed and have fun in the meantime while we continue to work at all the problems
and control what we can control, I guess.
Yeah. And if you don't smoke weed, you can do other things.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know what you should be doing.
Music, a lot of people do.
You can drink copious amounts of coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Green tea.
Exercise, I think, is probably the main one we're forgetting.
You can be addicted to opioids.
Yeah.
That's just someone strung out. No offense if you are strung out listening to this episode, by the way, but I just really think it'd be pretty funny just someone strung out on opioids, just listening to rap reviews.
Being like, yeah.
And if that's happening, man.
Thanks for the validation, guys. Smoke meth, kids.
Whatever you're doing, as long as you're putting everything into it, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, give it your all.
Give it your all.
You don't smoke meth.
You deserve that glass pipe. Put away.
I was going to go that far to get into specifics of it, Kieran. And give people a to-do list tonight.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of that.
That's the end of the song. Quick other thing, the song's called Gorgeous, which I think is just like an ironic way of saying that, like, how's this gorgeous situation we're stuck in?
Yeah, okay.
Let's deal with it.
Tops.
Yeah. Kanye West.
Yeah, cool. That's it. That's the end of the song. We already discussed that. We're going to throw some BPMs of that bad boy.
Yeah, Doug, how do you feel, Raymond?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm not even, like, I can't even really remember the track, which is kind of the fun thing about going in blind, I guess, because I'm not going just off the lyrics, I don't have any like way of it being intruded by just
very mesmerizing track, a lot of distorted guitar and stuff, and it's cool.
I'm gonna say just off the lyrics, probably like a 410 or 411. I'll give it 11. Go with an odd number in a while. I mean, it's an old school track, so I'll go an old school odd number.
Okay, nice.
That's so weird hearing you say that it's something that came out like 2009, 10 is an old school track.
No, just like in terms of like doing the episode old school, and I guess it's
sorry, yeah, with you.
And it's not really that old, but
it's pretty old now, though. 11 years.
What? Since the track came out?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's old. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
It is weird sometimes, but I don't know.
It's still when you say like 30 years ago, you still just assume 70s. Because like the easy math.
Yeah, like I always kind of feel like the 80s was only like...
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago. Even though I wasn't really born in the 80s or anything, you just hear tales of it.
2005 feels like 2 years ago to me.
That's kind of nuts.
That's me, baby.
It is weird relatively, actually. I think with music and TV shows, when you think about it, sometimes you're like, oh, that didn't come out that long ago, and you check it and you're like, well, that's 13 years old. That's strange. And like, I'm not that old, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we're older.
Yeah.
Yikes. We'll be like, oh, we did this stupid podcast, and we go check when it came out the last episode. We're like 2027. What was I doing for that long?
Yeah. If we're still recording to 2027, fuck man, I think we deserve to give ourselves some props.
I'd hope that if we're still going at that point, we've made something of it. We're getting something in return out of it.
It's the love of hip hop, the love of annotating these songs, the love of discovering new stuff, and hopefully
each other as well.
Yeah, it's love of friendship.
But also hopefully like bringing some people who might be listening to this show around to the ways of thinking a bit more deeply about the songs you're listening to. Music is a beautiful art form. Yeah,
and you know what? There's been people who have tuned in all over the world, which is kind of nice and cool.
Shout outs to the burgeoning Canadian listenership. I'm really enjoying seeing that, and the UK listenership. I know you guys are in lockdown, probably.
And the French have been. We've been a couple of Frenchies. We've been getting more and more involved. I think a little bit over time.
Fuck yeah.
The Americans are still probably our most like out of. Anyway, none to that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's not get into the analytics of our show.
They are kind of fun though.
Speaking of
I don't mind them.
How do you feel, Kieran? What's your thoughts and BPMs on the track?
I think it was
BBC over here.
I think it was probably one of my favorite tracks off the album. And lyrically, it's it's not too cryptic, which I like. It's cryptic enough to make us think, but it's not so roundabout that it's tough to make a analysis out of. I'm going to give it a 467.
Oh, nice. Quite high. Good. Yeah,
solid
good
big,
call.
yeah.
I think if Kanye wrote it or not, whoever wrote it, it's his verses are wicked, and Raekwon, just as always, that buttery fucking voice. And that smooth like little guitar lick in the background. We got your cat meowing in the background.
Singing along.
Yeah. Doom's
The
like,
sultry Kid Cudi.
Doom's like, all right, boys, you have fun with your episode. I'd like to come into the lounge room now. Right. Well, if those meows don't mean anything, Ben.
I mean, I'm not too far off, Kieran. I'm gonna go 470. I love his Kanye song. It's one of my favourite songs. Maybe my favourite off that album. And I think the message gets across quite clearly. There's quite a few punchlines in there. And it's a good message, man. I think he delivers it well. I think he understands the topic and understands what's going on. And it's a shame more people can't get that message and understand it. Kendrick Lamar had to make a whole goddamn album over it. Which is amazing, by the way.
I mean, credit to Kanye and also for you for bringing this episode up, because I never really thought of Kanye as being like a super conscious rapper and actually rapping about things that plague his community.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say not so much now, but he still does. But like College Dropout is like essentially very much about that. Or just about how people are sort of expected to do a certain thing in society, and you can go against it. It's okay.
Maybe I've always just listened to Kanye through the lens of like party, because a lot of his tracks are party tracks.
Even those ones are quite political and social, though.
Yeah, Homecoming, and
it's hard to find a song where he doesn't really talk about injustice of some sort.
And you know what? I was going through his albums a couple of months ago. I guess it's irrelevant. Anyway, the point is, he's had a hit from almost every album he's released. He's always had at least one like chart song, which is fucking super impressive.
Impressive for someone who's built it up themselves too.
Yeah,
from, making their
and
own
over like
music
the fact that it's over like 2 decades. It's pretty. He really is kind of like a Beatle in that sense.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it means.
And also like harking back to what you were saying about his experimental kind of approach to music over the years, that he's pushed the boundary as much as you were arguing against it. I would totally agree with you, Romano, that he's always been an innovator in terms of like his musical style.
Oh,
sorry,
totally.
Ben,
No, I would never. I was going to say I would never disagree with that. No, I was saying that he has. I think you were saying that he used to be a lot more experimental. No, sorry, he's getting more experimental the older he gets. I don't know if he necessarily is, but he's always been like. Jay-Z says it in an interview once where he's like the Indian that goes over to the cowboys first over the hill with a spear and starts throwing it.
Who Kanye?
But Kanye is, and then he'll wait for everyone else to catch up.
Yeah, okay.
He's kind of like the Leroy Jenkins of music.
That's probably a good note to finish up on.
Leroy Jenkins. God damn it, Leroy.